film. You always transform yourselves into these roles. I was so worried to sit down that you were gonna like mesmerize me and go, you will give this film a good review and tell your friends, and there's $20 in your pocket.
These are not the androids you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah. You Jedi mind tricks for this. But this is your first period piece, though.
Yeah, kind of.
I know. I think
I did a bit in the Ridley Scott movie Kingdom of Heaven, but yeah, no, I know this was a great challenge.
Everything looks and feels a little bit different in this because times were different back then.
Yeah.
So how do you find the stuff out?
Well, I mean, it'll sound shallow in a way, but I'll tell you, just putting those clothes on, and being in those theaters and being around other people who are dressed like that, it changes the whole atmosphere. I mean, when you put these tight vests, these high-waisted pants, and starch collars, and frock coats, and the women are in corsets, and the theaters look like these ones do, like your whole posture changes. Your voice changes. It's amazing how much the external textures of that world can bring you right into it, and it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Were you like myself and every other kid that had a magic kit when they were a kid and wanted to be a magician?
When I was a kid, I didn't. But when I was in college, I caught on to this one magician, Ricky Jay, who a lot of people consider, people like David Blaine and other great magicians. Ricky is considered by many to be one of the great practitioners and scholars, and I actually ended up working in a theater in New York where I was an usher, and his show was there, and I saw it dozens of times, and I was flattened by it, and then he ended up being our advisor on this film, and so I got to work with him for a couple months.
Did he remember you?
Well, I came years later. He did the show again once I was making movies, and I came to it then and introduced myself and said, I used to usher this show, and he couldn't believe it, and so when he became our advisor on this film, it really was one of the great thrills for me in my career so far. It was just literally I got to sit with the master for a couple months, and I owe a lot of what I did in this to him.
Speaking of the master, Paul Giamatti's in this movie. You guys have some great
he's phenomenal.
And you followed him in school, didn't you?
I was a year or two behind him in college, and we were in one play together. I think he was 21 and I was 19, and I've seen him. I've watched his work since. He was great then. He really was great in college, and I've always kind of hoped maybe we were going to end up finding a way into something together, and so it was a kick. I mean, I really I think he's one of the best ones out there right now. I just love his work, and so it was great.
What was your first thought when Jessica came in for the reading and she was in the gown?
Well, see, I didn't know anything about Jessica, so she came in. A casting director that I really respect said, "This girl's really good. She's got more than I think people think." And she came in, and I knew nothing about her, so I turned to everyone and went, "She's a knock." I mean, she was graceful, and really she had this great reserve that seemed very period to me. Her face seemed very period, and I said, "What the hell are we waiting for? She's great, And then later I found out she'd been doing all these like Blade and all these kick-ass modern action movies and stuff, and she just slipped right into it. I thought she's got a really natural kind of elegance, and she fit the period beautifully.
Is it important? It's movie magic. They could have just done Did you feel you needed to get into the role and learn how to be a magician?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you read the script, there was no way you could read it and not know that one of the big challenges was going to be putting these performances over. I mean, it was pretty central to the story, and I thought, with everything else, I thought that would be the biggest challenge is doing these stage presentations in a way that feels really convincing and hypnotic.
I can't wait to see what you do next.
Okay, man.
Thank you so much.